levels like in the late 50s. I mean, I've used layering myself during this run a few times because there's like places that are totally camped with mobs, and I use layering myself. Not a whole lot though, but especially like in the 40s I've used it more so. Yeah, I use layering mostly in the 40s. There's a few times I did. It did work though too, especially when doing an escort quest. The escort's not there, you just do a layer hop and then there's the escort.
How may I aid?
Okay, we're gonna kill some slimes for the ooze samples, and then we're gonna kill some Jadeners. Jadener. Should go this way, maybe. There's some slimes over here. Yep, yep. So I only got 21 ooze samples in Ungrow Crater, and my guide wants me to get 35. That's what I wrote down, and I'm hoping that I get enough samples from the Undercity, because it's kind of random on that quest. Like you could only just need 10, like 10 items, and get that quest done. My guide used to always say get 25 samples, and I changed it to 35, because there was one time where I got 25 samples, and I needed more. I needed more samples. But then there's times where I only needed less than 10. Only needed 15. Yeah, it varies so greatly from like 10 to 35. Like, it's usually like 10 to 35 samples that you need. Like, if you want to be on the safe side, get 35 samples. That's crazy. And I gave up. In Ungrow Crater, I got tired of looking for the slimes, so I end up just giving up. This zone here, Felwood, though, you can kill a lot of slimes pretty quickly, because they're all grouped together. So I can probably get all 35 slime samples here in Felwood pretty easily. Ungrow Crater though, that's a little different. Thought I was the fastest. Well, I was the fastest back in vanilla days when I didn't have a leveling guide to maintain. Ever since I started needing to maintain a leveling guide, it does hinder my ability to speedrun. Like, I'm spending all my time making a leveling guide, and not enough time practicing a speedrun. Or even have time to do that. Like, my leveling guides always interfere with my speedruns in some way, like all the time. Like even in TBC, I was gonna speedrun TBC, but I didn't because I needed to spend all my time. I spent all my time making leveling guides instead. It's like ever since I started working on leveling guides for this game, my speedruns just went down the crapper because I don't have enough time to spend on it. Because all my time I dump all my time into my leveling guide work. Hire someone to do it for me. Well, have you ever heard the phrase, if you want it done right, do it yourself? Well, when it comes to leveling guides, that's exactly how I feel. Like, I don't really trust anybody to write me a leveling guide. The only person I trust is myself. So that's why I do all the work myself. I mean, if there is some grunt work that I see that could be done, then yeah, I do ask for help for stuff like that. But as far as like writing out my leveling guide, I do all that myself because I don't trust anybody else to even do that. But if there's like, if I need like a tester that runs through the guide to test things out or add some things here and there, some kind of easy grunt work, then yeah, I can have someone help me with that. Accidentally using a bandage because my hotkey for Bestial Wrath is Control X. And bandage is X. The old water graphics because it makes me feel like I'm playing vanilla WoW. Not BFA. That's why. Plus, I think it looks better anyway. I like the sparkling animation. It looks so nice. It looks more real even. I was never a fan of the new water. Like when they changed the water graphics, I didn't really like. I like the old water. I miss the old water. Yeah, green mobs are good to kill. Really, any mobs below your level are good. Well, once they start getting above your level, they start resisting things, and that just starts to get bad. I mean, if they're yellow mobs that are your level or below you, then that's ideal. Alright, we got 21 samples. That's pretty good. Hey JC, any accidental deaths? Yeah, I had a lot before level 30. I don't know, like 20 or more even. There was a lot. Way more than what I like. I'm not very satisfied with the amount of accidental deaths I had in this run. Once I got feigned death though, that all like disappeared. I just stopped having accidental deaths. But like before level 30, there was at least 20 or more. My world record run I did back in 2006 only had a total of like 7 deaths in the entire 1 to 60 run. That's still impressive to me. I can't believe I only died that many times. It's so easy to die in this game. I need someone to tell me the command how to show the nameplates further back, like a further distance to show the nameplates. I kind of wish I knew the command for that. I need to look into that. So I'm starting to realize that I think that would come in handy. Was it hard capped? Oh, I thought someone was telling me that you can increase the distance on that. Yeah, I don't know. I am doing quests. I have never actually needed to just stay in one place and grind yet with this entire character's life so far. I have not needed to grind at all. As you can see, I'm doing a quest called Forces of Janer. Yeah, I'm always... It may look like I'm grinding because I do grind to and from quests. Like, sometimes I am killing mobs that are not related to a quest, but that's because I'm just grinding to and from a quest. I do that a lot. Like, any mobs that are in my path, I usually just kill them. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Rusted Experience has played a part into that somewhat, yeah. But even then, though, like, I am going, like, a whole level ahead of what my guide wants me to be at, which is fine. Which means, like, I mean, the whole Slithis section is not in the game right now, so... Like, that will probably make up for that once I get there. I can just skip the whole section and move on. I may not need to do any grinding at all, like in level 59. That was always the worst part of the run back in the day, the level 59 owl grind. It seemed like it never ended. It was like an 8-hour grind that just kept going. To me, that was like the worst part of the run. Was just like the level 59 owl grind. It was like an all-day endeavor. Might have to go down in this cave here to kill the rest of these mobs. Cave can be a little dangerous, but I might not have a choice. These mobs are like 5 levels below me now, though. Not that big of a deal. Where did he go? Oh, he teleported. I look stressed out. See, this is why I don't like to use webcams. Everyone just says I look sick, stressed out, and tired. That's why I don't use webcams. I just get tired of people telling me that. Whoa. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a long run. Well, I tried to use a potion right before I died. I didn't even see that. I don't even know there was another mob attacking me. It's like it's the first death in a while. That's what I was saying. It's kind of dangerous down there in that cave. Gotta be careful. I didn't know what was going on. There's other players down there attacking things, and I didn't know if those other mobs were attacking me or what. Things got confusing. Yeah, those fireballs are doing like 300 some damage or something. Sometimes it's hard to react when you get like especially two of them firing fireballs at you. It's like half your health in one shot. Hardcore mode. There's no hardcore mode in World of Warcraft. This is not Diablo. Although World of Diablo, that would be a fun game if they ever did make that. And I bet they have definitely contemplated that. I am a fan of the Diablo games. I do like them. Actually, I'm a fan of every genre that Blizzard makes, except for Heroes of the Storm. That's the only one I didn't really care about. And yeah, and Hearthstone, that card game. Those are the only two games I really didn't care about. But all the other games Blizzard made, I do enjoy them. Except for Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm. But like every Diablo game, every StarCraft, every Warcraft game. Yeah, and Overwatch, yeah. Yeah, Overwatch is fun. I haven't played Overwatch. Heck, I even wrote a strategy guide for Overwatch. I wrote the best strategy guide for Overwatch in 2015. I spent an entire year on that in 2015. It was called Furious Paul's Overwatch Guide. But yeah, I stopped maintaining it because I switched to World of Warcraft. Well, actually, at the time I switched back to streaming Castlevania full time. I started losing interest in Overwatch due to various reasons. One more cultist and then we're done. What Castlevania was I streaming? Oh, I streamed Castlevania 1, 2, and 4. And I did get a past world record for all three of those games. I actually had the world record in every single category at one point in time for Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. And I had the world record in Super Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo for like a whole two and a half years. I maintained that for. And then I had the world record in Castlevania 1 for like 2.5 months. And yeah, I streamed Castlevania stuff full time from like 2013 through 2017. I did take a whole year off making an Overwatch guide. I did spend a whole entire year, like 70 hours a week on Overwatch, making a strategy guide for the game. And it was a really good strategy guide too, like it was the best. Like you typed an Overwatch strategy guide in Google and my site was #1 for a whole year and a half. Until I stopped maintaining it and then it slipped down. Oh, I'm done here. I killed all these guys I need to do. I'm gonna kill some more slimes. What was I doing before World of Warcraft stuff? I was a landscaper full-time for 14 years. Actually, for the first year, I was still selling my leveling guide on eBay for the first 6 months while still going landscaping. And then, yeah, after about 1 year of landscaping and selling my guide on eBay during that period of time, then I switched to selling it on my website, and then that was when I was able to actually quit landscaping and then start working on my leveling guide full time at that point in time. That was back in 2006, 2007. An info commercial. I actually never made any videos like promoting my leveling guide like as a commercial. I never did that. I mean, I might have had an affiliate who did that, but I never did that. It's not a bad idea though. I have thought about doing that, like making some kind of YouTube video like promoting my leveling guide. I just never did that. I'm not really big on making YouTube videos. I probably should be though. Okay. I'm gonna kill some more slimes later on.
What is it?
What do you need? Well met. Well met.
Get some more arrows, just in case.
Ah, I have just the thing for you.
Lots of arrows. Maybe I should even got more. Okay, kill some more slimes. Yeah, I mean, you can use my guides for the first 12 levels for free. I mean, that's all available. You can see how my guide works. And then, yeah, you can, I do have a 60-day refund policy where after, you can use the guide up until 60 days, and if you're not satisfied, just you can get all your money back. Yeah, there's some people doing that. They use a guide to get all their money back. Yep, there's people doing that. I mean, if you choose not to support my work, then that's just the way it goes, you know? I I mean, that is a way for people who are really poor and want to use my guide for free. That is a way to do it. But, I mean, if you want to support my work and allow me to keep making leveling guides, then yeah, you can support, which I definitely do appreciate. But yeah, that's your choice. Yep, 100% refund, yep. Use my guide up to 60 days and then get a refund if you don't want it, or if you just weren't satisfied, or even if you just want to use it for free. If you don't want to support, it's up to you. I mean, you'll probably be so impressed with the leveling guide that you'll probably just want to support me and just allow me to keep doing my work. So otherwise, I'll probably have to do something else with my life if I don't get enough support with that. I do enjoy making leveling guides. Like, I thoroughly enjoy making leveling guides for a while, so I'm hoping to be able to keep doing that. Yo, Lupus Tim, or Lupox Tim, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you, thank you. I think it was the first sub of the day. Thank you, thank you. Yo, anonymous gifter gifted a sub to Asmongold. Asmongold's in my channel. What? I didn't think he even knew about me. That's crazy. Thank you. Thanks for the gifted sub. Really do appreciate it. He's not here. Oh, yeah, that's right. You can gift subs to people who are not even in your channel. I think that is true, right? I think I've even done that before, where I gifted a sub to someone and they weren't even in your channel. Nah, Asmongold's not in the channel. Yeah, he's not in there. Just did a search. But yeah, you can gift subs to people who are not even in your channel. But that did surprise me. I have never seen Asmongold in my channel or even mentioned me ever. As far as I know, I don't even think he's even aware of me. Or even knows who I am. Alright, how many slimes we got? Almost 30. Am I the real Joana? Yes, I am the player. What classes are my guides for? It can be used for all classes. I mean, you can use my guides for all classes. But some classes have the 12 to 60 steps in for them. And the ones that don't, then you can still use my guides for that class. You're just not going to be able to, like, do all your class quests. Actually, all class quests are not even in the game right now for Phase 1. Like your class level 50 quests are not even in for Phase 1 yet. And I don't even know what phase that's going to come in the game for. I have no idea. I'm in the dark with that. I was trying to look into that and I couldn't figure that out. Oh, we got 40 samples. That is way enough. Yeah, some class quests are important and some aren't. Like, some you can just skip and it's no big deal. I think it depends what class quest you're talking about. Some class quests are definitely worth doing. Like, if you're a warrior, you definitely want to try to do the whirlwind quest line at like level 30. Which is in my guide for the Horde side, at least right now. I need to put the Alliance warrior stuff in eventually. If you don't start level 1. Yeah, you can jump into my guide at any single level. But you may run into some quests that are telling you to turn in or do or accept that you don't have. In that situation, you could look them up and see if you can do them. Like, if they're not too far away from you to go accept, do, or turn in, then you can just go ahead and do them. If not, you can just skip it and move on, and eventually you will be able to start doing every single quest in the guide. This guy's gonna kill my cat. I do not want to fight another one of these infernals. That was too much time. Where's all the horrors? Will the next speedrun have splits? Well, these are the splits right here. As far as like, will I be racing against something? I'm not sure. It's weird speedrunning this game because there's so many weird variables involved, like with rested experience, other players in the game, if whether or not layering is in the game or not. This game is different to run than like a retro game. It's like racing against a previous splits is kind of weird. Is there quests in Slithis? Well, the whole Cenarian hold stuff is not in the game right now. However, there is a quest to do in Valor's Rest. There's like one quest to do there, and I think currently in my leveling guide I do have players go do that quest, like real quick. But that's it. There's like one quest you do in Slithis, and then that's it. I bleeped out the rest of the stuff for phase 1 of my leveling guide. Hi, Jaw. Yeah, you know, it's... I don't know, it's kind of weird how it's in the game. Actually, I kind of like that. It's kind of like a mysterious zone that's in the game. No one can really access it unless you know the secret. And it's like halfway complete. That's what I feel like Classic Plus should be about, is like enabling Highjaw and maybe some other zones around you know the two main islands, instead of having you go into a portal where the Burning Crusade does. Like, I think that would be cool. And still have like the two main cities be Orgrimmar and Ironforge. But just add a couple more, just add a number of zones, just like enable Highjaw, maybe some other ones, to go from a 60 to 70 or something. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Okay, what am I doing now? Ungrill at 49, that's kind of low. I mean, you might be able to do some quests there at 49, but I don't really recommend going there until like level 51 at least. I had players go there generally at like level 52 so that you're able to do everything and not needing to return again. Doing here. These are the mobs. Yeah, after this river, you can start killing these mobs here. Compensate for Slithis? Well, for one thing, I am going one level ahead of my guide. So that's going to help a lot. But if all else, there's I can just grind on mobs somewhere. It's not that big of a deal. Where's my potions? Oh, I recently used a mana potion. Do an alliance run? Well, I think that's what I'm going to be doing next, but I don't know if it's going to be a speed run or not. I mean, I don't know. It might be. I need to update my guide in the 45 to 60 range. Because that was untested in Classic WoW. Classic WoW Beta. I mean, I have been getting reports from other players in that area, in that section. Yeah, I might be able to do that. Hey, Rage Star, what's up? What happened? Lag. Arcane shot, is it worth it? It just depends, I think. It depends on many factors, like what your spirit is, what your intellect is, what tier water you're using, what level you are, what mobs you're fighting. I mean, but yeah, Arcane Shot is the biggest mana waster for hunters, so you generally don't want to spam it all the time. How do you keep your pet happy? You feed them food. This guy's moves so slow. What will my playtime be when I hit 60? I actually have no idea. I'm not really paying attention to that. I don't really want to know. I just don't know. How many levels 60 do I got now? Well, it's still my first character in Classic WoW. I have not got a 60 yet. How's my diet? I eat very little food. I only eat like maybe 800 calories a day on average. And it's all fruit and vegetables pretty much. Okay, so right here is the exit. Hey, True False, how's it going? I don't really eat a whole lot. I have heart disease, so I'm trying not to eat too much food right now and just trying to eat healthy stuff. I the PvP or PvE guy? I am the PvE guy. That's my focus, is what I do. Actually, this is a PvE server, so yeah, this is PvE all the way. Yep. King Bangladesh, no, that's just a regular STV Tiger. Yes, I was formerly known as Furious Paul. Yep. Well, I mean, that's still really my true gamer name is Furious Paul. I mean, it's still my real gamer name. Joana is the name of my World of Warcraft character, and also my Twitch handle name. And my real gamer name is still like Furious Paul or whatever. I mean, you can call me Furious Paul or Joana, I don't really care. I picked the name Furious Paul in 2013 because I thought I was done with World of Warcraft stuff. Like, I thought it was all over. But once they announced Classic WoW, that was when I changed my name back to Joana. Since just everyone knows my name by that. No one knows who Furious Paul is. There was many people that know who Joana is rather than Furious Paul, especially in the World of Warcraft scene. I didn't want to keep using the name Joana for all my future endeavors once I quit World of Warcraft stuff in 2013. So that was why I picked a gamer name, this random name, Furious Paul, to stream on Twitch for my Castlevania stuff. Yeah, the same one who wrote the Overwatch strategy guide. Yeah, Furious Paul's Overwatch strategy guide. I put a lot of time into that. Actually, the whole year of 2015 and some of 2016. That's all I did, was work on a strategy guide for Overwatch. But yeah, then I abandoned it due to certain reasons. Mostly because of World of Warcraft. I went back on WoW in late 2017, so I pretty much abandoned everything else I was doing to work on Classic WoW full time. Yeah, I think I do a good job at making strategy guides for video games. Like, I was very happy about my Overwatch strategy guide. I put a lot of effort into that. And it was the best Overwatch strategy guide for like a whole year and a half until I stopped maintaining it and then it slipped down. But I feel like I did an amazing job on that. There's no other Overwatch strategy guide out there that was good as mine for like the first year that the game came out. But yeah, one of the reasons why I quit working on Overwatch is because the game kept changing. They kept changing things. They kept tweaking heroes so that they do different things. They changed aspects of the game around. They changed maps around, which made big portions of my guide just obsolete, and I had to rewrite whole sections. And I got tired of that. Plus, I wasn't making any income from that. Like, I was making maybe $15 a day. I could not live. I could not keep doing that. So that was one of the main reasons why I quit and went back to streaming Castlevania stuff. I just wasn't getting enough compensation in return to keep affording living making Overwatch guides. Like, it just wasn't yielding anything in return. Which is one of the main reasons why I quit working on that. Plus, they kept changing the game. Like, I'm doing all these like updates to my guide for Overwatch, and they kept changing the game, and I wasn't getting anything in return for that. Like maybe $15 a day total was all I was making, and I was struggling with my finances on all that stuff. So I decided to call it quits. I was actually making a little bit more streaming Castlevania stuff on Twitch, so that was why I went back to streaming Castlevania. Loot boxes suck. Yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of things like loot boxes and stuff like that. It's not really necessary to put in the game. It's just like one of those little optional things. I mean, Overwatch is fun though. Like, I actually still play Overwatch, but only just for fun though. Like, I'll play it like maybe a couple games on the weekend just for fun. But I don't make it like something I try to actually make a living out of. But man, I was, with Overwatch, I was doing 70 hours a week on that thing for an entire year. All of 2015, 70 hours a week, full time, that was all I did. And I made maybe a total of like, I think, like $1,500 total. Like total, the entire time. I mean, I enjoy making strategy guides for games, and I feel like I do a good job at it too. Like, I got a good system down for all that stuff, and I feel like I do a really good job. If not like the best job out there. Like, I feel like I am the best strategy guide maker out there. Like, I don't know anyone who can make a strategy guide better than me. You know, the very first game I ever wrote a guide for was Double Dragon 3 on the NES back in like it was like 1988, I think. I am done killing these things. Yeah, it was like 1988. I wrote a strategy guide for Double Dragon 3. It was the very first guide I ever wrote a guide for. The first game I ever wrote a guide for. I still have it too. It was a printed paperback guide. I should actually scan it and put it online. But it's so sloppy though. Like, I read it and like there's misspellings everywhere, and it's all written in pencil on like a piece of paper. And it's so sloppy, but it was the first guide I ever wrote. I still have it. I still have that. Yeah, Double Dragon 3 on the NES. I actually wrote a guide for that when I was like a little tiny kid. I was a little tiny kid. I wrote a guide for that. The first game guide I ever wrote. Yeah, I'm gonna scan it and put it. I've been meaning to do that. I've been meaning to scan the pages of that and put it online. It is kind of sloppy, but I'm warning you. I wrote that when I was a little tiny kid, where I didn't even barely know English yet. But yeah, you can see like my enthusiasm for writing game guides. That was when it all started. Okay, I'm actually just gonna grind through the cave. I'm not going to. I know I'm actually. This is the only spot where I'm actually deviating from my leveling guide and doing something different. This is gonna hurt my reputation with Timber Mall Hold, but I don't really care. Because it's actually faster to grind through the cave. But yeah, your average player though, you would want to do the quest that I just picked up first, so that these guys are neutral. But yeah, I mean, if you're trying to get to 1 to 60 as fast as possible, this is what you do. You grind through the cave. You don't do the quest. And I need to... all these guys are just running... Okay, that's not good. I'm just gonna have to just let my pet die. You use the support form and never got a correspondence. It's because I'm playing the game right now. I am the only one that does support for my leveling guides, and as you can see, I am busy playing right now. But once I'm done playing, that's the first thing I do, is go look at my emails and answer them. Anyway, check your spam folder. That's usually where it goes when you're trying to retrieve your password. It most likely gets caught in your spam folder. I'll just check that. But, I mean, right now I can't, like, look up orders right now, so I'm busy playing. Resisted? Oh, no. What? That sucks. My plan was to drop down, run as far as I could, and then feign death, but it was resisted. Where am I going? Yeah, so my leveling guy wants me to kill these guys so that when I go through the cave, those guys don't attack me. I mean, maybe I should still attempt to do that. Like, it may not be a bad idea to at least give it a try. But that's kind of too late now, though. But yeah, I should have considered doing that. Yeah, I mean, back in vanilla days, I just grinded through the cave. But yeah, I am aware that if you do the quest before you go into the cave, then these guys are neutral. And you get closer to becoming more friendlier with them, which is more an ideal solution to do. But yeah, dying though like this, that was no good. I should not have died going through this cave. Where is my pet going? Am I going to continue playing this character when I hit 60? I don't know. I mean, maybe a little bit. I mean, I'd like to. That'd be something I would want to do. But I want to continue to improve my leveling guides, and in order to do that, I need to start working on 1 to 60 alliance. Make sure that's all good for my alliance guide. Yo, Phoenix. I may know who you are. Greetings, greetings. Am I on world record pace? Probably not. I actually haven't really been paying attention to, like, my time. I actually don't really want to know if I'm like ahead or behind. I don't really care. I just want to play the game. I'm probably behind the world record, but I may be ahead of my record though. Is Joker's time legit? Well, I mean, he did use layering in the late 50s, but man, yeah, I would say it's legit. I mean, as long as layering is in the game, then I mean, he basically got the record for classic launch. I think that's all I need to do here. Just get the flight path and I'm done. I mean, a lot of people say he abused layering, or, you know, I mean, in speedrunning world, you use what you can use. If it's in the game, then use it. So I didn't really have no problem with that. Heck, I've used layering myself with this character, and I mean, it did work. Like when there's a place where there's a lot of mobs, I use layering to reset the mobs, and it did. You know, I've used that. It is what it is. I mean, it's probably gonna be like a record for every phase of WoW, like phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Has Blood said they're going to open up new servers? Actually, they have not said anything about that. But I know that people have been suggesting that to them. And I think they are aware that people do want that. So, I mean, that's a good thing. Usually when people want something, Blizzard listens and they do, they will actually proceed with the suggestions. So, I'm hoping that they do actually release fresh realms eventually. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but I can see, like, maybe, you know, in the middle of next year, them releasing a new server. But I'm wondering if they do that, though, if, like, what phase they're going to have it at. Like, are they going to have it on the same phase as, say, you know, what classic WoW it is right now? Or what it will be at the time? Or are they going to start at phase 1? If that's the case, if they actually start a new fresh realm, like at phase 1, while the classic launch servers are at phase like 3 or something, then that's gonna make using my leveling guides kind of weird. Whoa, this is pretty fast. Fuck off. Okay, so here we go again. Okay. Well, this guy's reset. It's actually tough getting through this cave here. I'm actually having some problems. Really, it's just this area here. There's like 5 NPCs that are like level 54, 55. Okay, so let's just get this guy Try to do one at a time and not like four at a time. And I think I just realized that these guys are not even giving me any experience points. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, yeah, that guy did. That was weird. Something's telling me that Milosh may not give me any experience points for killing him. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I'm actually not following my guide exactly at the moment because my guide says to do a quest first to become neutral with these guys so you can just walk right past them. But I'm doing this because I think it's faster to get through the cave. Because doing... what's that quest called? Deadwood of the North. I have players do that quest before going into the cave. But I'm skipping that for right now. That's what I did back in the day too. Back in 2006, when I did my runs, I skipped doing the quest. And I still think it's faster to skip it than just go through the cave and grind on the mobs. But I know, like, I am hurting... there's disadvantages to that. Like with each mob I kill, I'm becoming less friendly with Timbermaw Hold. That's only bad like once you hit level 60 and you want to become more friendly with them.